the name Peppershock is a variation, a play on Rhea's maiden name because it was so memorable. She didn't want to lose that part of her identity when she married an Allen, which is boring and common, and everybody has that name. Thanks.
You agree.
Welcome to the Marketing Expedition Podcast, an auditory journey through the latest in marketing, branding, and advertising. Now, here's your Marketing Expedition guide, Rhea Allen.
Welcome to the Marketing Expedition Podcast. I'm your host, Rhea Allen. I'm the president and CEO of Peppershock Media and the founder of the Marketing Expedition community. And today's guest we have with us, Rhea Allen. He is my business partner and husband. And we are going to talk about 20 years of Peppershock Media. Welcome to the show, Drew.
Thanks for having me. I'm proud to be a guest on the Marketing Expedition podcast.
Oh, my Lanta. Are you being a dork? Really?
You should know me better by now that I was going to do
well,
that.
Anyway, we have this to get through, so we wanted it to be
I
special.
have to listen to Drew talk.
Well, it's the 200th episode of the podcast that we've been doing for years now. So it's important, right? For people to hear about us and our story and what we do and why we do what we do and all the things that we've been doing for the last 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years in October of 2023.
Yeah. So it's now this episode that we're on, and we are going to talk about Peppershock. So do you want to share how it all began?
I could probably remember back that far. Tell the story.
You want to share how we met? Let's start with that.
Yeah. So I was a stud mowing lawns. I was all ripped and tan. I came into the TV station where Rhea was the director, and she was like, "Oh my God, we have to hire that guy."
And how is that even remotely close to being possible?
That's how we met.
Well, okay.
I applied for a job at Channel 12 here in the Boise area back when it existed. It's right. No more, but I wanted to come.
Fox 12 News at 9.
I wanted to move over from. I was working at Channel 6 studio crew, running camera and audio and technical directing and running the Chiron, the CG. So I wanted to work at Channel 12, and I applied, and luckily Dan Widener and Rhea Allen thought I was Ray Peppersack at the time.
Rhea Peppersack.
Thought I was awesome enough to work there, so I started working there and running camera for the news, and eventually worked up to being the technical director. So anyways, Ray obviously liked me well enough for me to convince her to move to Seattle with me after she graduated from Boise State with her degree, her undergrad. So I moved to Seattle with Ray and got my degree from the Art Institute of Seattle in video production. And then we started looking into starting a business up there because Ray, her hopes and dreams and her degree were in communications and entrepreneurship. She did undergrad, did an interdisciplinary studies and created her own degree.
Hang on, though. We have to fill people in. I went to Boise State University and graduated, and then we moved to Seattle. But hold on, because I'm a Boise State alumni, which is more to the story later, which we'll talk about. But that, and yes, I did interdisciplinary studies. I did mass communication and business management and marketing for undergrad while working at the TV station full time. I originally worked at Channel 6.
Right.
Before you.
I just followed in your footsteps.
But we didn't meet at Channel 6. We met later.
Not until 12.
And that's when Fox 12 News at 9 started, and I was the first official newscast director at Fox 12.
Right. And then I hauled you up to Seattle so we could live in sin.
Right. That's what Grandma says.
While I went to school.
Yeah, and we got an apartment that was a brand new apartment, but it was sight unseen, and we found an area that was probably not such a great area.
Let's just say we weren't very welcome there. My pickup got broken into twice, once with a brick through the window, and they ripped out my CD player and stole all my whole booklet of
the face
200 CDs.
Yes.
Yeah, that sucked. And then
good thing for Napster, though.
It was a good thing for insurance because I got to go shopping after that. That's right. Claim.
My bike got stolen.
Well, then that was the next time. I had a camper shell on the little pickup and they broke into the camper shell was locked. They broke into the camper shell, and then the 2 bikes were locked to the back of the truck with a chain. So they cut the chain off and stole both the bikes. And I'm pretty sure that a few months later, I saw somebody riding one of them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Downtown.
Dang it.
But what was I going to do?
Yeah. Well, we got out of
Walk
that
up to the
situation
dude and be like,
and then
mine.
moved to Alki Beach.
Yeah, that was a lot cooler.
Yeah, we had an apartment that overlooked the lighthouse. And it was really cool because on sunny days in Seattle,
which there were 2 of,
it was cool. I was rollerblading and we were playing volleyball. Oh, there's Piper, the Peppershock puppy. She's got to bark at everything. Anyway, so that was Seattle.
This story could get really long.
It could. We should probably
20 years worth of, yeah.
Well, it's the background.
The gist of it was that Ray was working at a TV station up there, and we met some people that also wanted to start a business. And so as we started looking into that and pricing things out and scoping out the competition, we realized that Seattle is just, and this was 20 years ago, Seattle was too expensive to live in, and there were already a lot of video production companies, because that's originally, we were just going to be in video production.
Well, you had interned at a lot of big city,
couple different post-production and production companies up there. And
so then we decided we're going to bring home all the big city experience back to the Boise area.
Yeah.
And we would, instead of being a little teeny tiny tadpole in a big sea of competitors, that we would be like I don't know, at least a normal sized fish.
A piranha.
No, there's not piranhas in Idaho. I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Well, we were young.
Yeah, we thought we knew it all. And I talked about this the other day to somebody that, we kind of did things backwards. We got the education, we had work experience, and then we just jumped right in and started our own business. We didn't work for somebody for 10, 15, 20 years and then go out on our own. Yeah. So we kind of did things a little bit backward.
I took the book work and applied it into real life.
Yeah.
Still do now. But on the flip side, and we'll talk about this more, but now I get to teach what I learned. I learned some lessons. We learned some lessons along the way, for sure.
Yeah, we did. We got engaged, got married.
August of 2003.
Moved back.
Started the business in October 2003.
Yep.
People ask me all the time, would you have done it the same way? Well, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But starting a business and getting married at the same time? Yeah. I don't recommend it. Yes.
Starting a business and getting married.
I don't know that I recommend that particular path, but it seemed to work for us. I don't know. For 20 years.
We're still here.
Yep.
You only sort of hate me, so.
It depends on a good day. If you bring me my coffee in the morning, then I guess it's a good day.
I do most days.
Yeah. It's good.
Working.
Acts of service.
Yeah.
Right? We did the whole...
It's your love language.
Yes. We went to the love language that we met the author and got to talk to him and learn all about that. Yeah.
Well, what do you think people want to know about the last 20 years of running a small family-owned business, running an ad agency, video production company?
I'm 51%. You're 49%. That makes us an official woman-owned, certifiable.
Yes, you are.
Business, even though we've tried to certify it like a million times, but
the applications with the government, we're just waiting.
Yeah.
It's been 9 months.
Yeah, since we tried
again. I keep checking, and they're like, "Oh, so sorry, we're really busy. We'll get back to you."
Kind of like when I was on the phone with the IRS when they messed up and put it on. I can't remember whose social security number. They put it on one of us and not yours, and then I was on the phone. How long? 10 hours?
3 or 4 times, 6 to 8 hours each time on hold.
Yeah.
Just to get through to somebody.
And then come to find out they messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not part of this.
No, it's not. But it's something that small business owners go through because they were going to put like a lien on our house and all this stuff. And I knew, like, why would I ever not pay our taxes? Are you kidding me? Like, what is going on?
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes, folks. The government does make mistakes.
What?
Time to time.
And then, on hold. And they hung up on me. Anyway, this is not about the IRS.
No.
This is about us and the business and going through trials and tribulations and learning about things. And it is a marketing expedition. So I do often get asked about how we got our name and the reputation and the brand equity that is Peppershock. Oh, first of all, we should probably tell them where the name Peppershock came from if people don't already know. Well,
it's your derivative of your maiden name. You tell the story.
Well, yeah. So in 2003, when everybody was looking for .coms, right? Well, Peppersack.com was already taken, and we wanted to use that because, no offense, honey, your last name is Allen, and like everybody in the world has Allen or Smith or Freeman, which are also hereditary
family names.
names. But Peppersack is very unusual and very memorable, and people would call me, and say, "Hey, Peppersack," because it's something that's unique. And anyway, so Peppersack.com was taken by one of my relatives, because anybody with a name of Peppersack is related to me in one way or another, because there's only a couple generations here from the Peppersack side. Freeman side, not so much. Smith side, not so much. Anyway, because I'm a 5th generation Idahoan on that side of the family. But Peppersack.com taken, so Peppershock.com was not. And so, hence the name, Peppershock Media.
Yeah, that was part of it. We also had a list. We should try to find that sheet of paper. We just wrote down all these variations. We knew we wanted to play off of the brand equity of your maiden name.
Yeah.
And we had all kinds of variations. We should try to find that list. Peppershock was just the one that stood out. Yeah, the name Peppershock is a variation, a play on Rhea's maiden name, because it was memorable. She didn't want to lose that part of her identity when she married an Allen, which is boring and common, and everybody has that name. Thanks.
You agreed.
It could have been Allen Shock.
Yeah.
Or Pepper Allen.
Yeah.
Not quite the same.
Peppershock. This isn't the same.
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, Peppershock Media Productions LLC was our original name, and then it was Peppershock Media, and then just Peppershock. People just know us as Peppershock. And if they don't, then they soon learn what we do and who we are. And it is memorable, and people can go to peppershock.com, or I think they can go to peppershockmedia.com and it redirects, but Peppershock.com.
I might have to check that.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, scratch that if that's the case. Right, we had that, but people just know Peppershock.com. Yeah. But that's the beauty of brand equity, because then people know us, and people remember it, because it's shocking.
Yeah, pretty soon we're going to be right up there with Apple and Nike.
Right.
You're going to say that name, and it's synonymous with excellence in advertising.
Very good.
Anyway.
In video production and design. You
also mentioned how we built it, and how we got brand equity, and how we got to be known, at least in our Treasure Valley, Boise, Nampa area.
Right.
It was you.
Not
you. Well, it was combined. It was your networking, your lack of fear of talking to people, and
that is true.
Going to chamber functions and donating your time by serving on various nonprofits and helping start nonprofits, and coupled with good work. I mean, that's really it. We built relationships. We did a good job. We took care of people.
Yeah. I always say I get the work and he makes it look good.
Well,
the team does.
When it was just you and I.
Mm-hmm.
But then we grew over time. We wanted to just start out as a video production company, and we'd get a video done, and then people would be like, okay, well, now what? You made me a 30-second TV commercial. How do I get it on the air? Well, because we had that connection to TV here locally, we knew how to plan and buy media.
When I worked on television, I worked pretty much every single job in the television. I mean, officially, my job was called being a rover. Like, I could write, I could go help with sales, I could help pitch ideas, I could do promotions, I could do all the shoot, edit. Oh my gosh, I remember shooting and lugging cameras around and tripods around and doing all of that. Like, I did it all. Like, I was, what do they say? A master, or Jane of all trades and a master of some. But then there's more to the story there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you just become a master of lots of different things.
Well, so I think
entrepreneurship.
The moral of that story, anyways, if you're looking to start a small business, is actually, let me back it. When I came back, I worked at Channel 6 again from moving back from Seattle while we were getting Peppershock started. And the sales manager there gave me this advice when I was leaving. He said, don't go out and get a big, fancy, expensive building.
Nope. Don't
go into debt more than you have to. Like, I mean, he gave me some good sound advice. Ken Ritchie, that's what I thought. Yep.
Yeah, and we didn't. I mean, we basically, when we bought our very first house, it was like wallpaper. I mean,
Yeah.
thin,
Well,
but it was our first home.
But it had a bonus room.
It did
off
have a
the
bonus
garage.
room,
That
and
was
that
the
was-
office.
yep.
That was the whole point. Was
And we got our first assistant, and we crammed us all in there.
Yep.
And that was our first home office. And lots of people always ask me, like, well, how did you get your start? So that goes back to the question to that answer, because this is a marketing journey, right? And like you said, we did some pro bono work, and then I got smart, and we got smart and not just charged $0 for things that we did, not gratis, right? Started charging a little bit more and a little bit more. And then word of mouth got out and started to get projects. And so I also, when we came back from Seattle, worked a job from like 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. because I was calling East Coast a lot and working and managing people and doing sales management, that kind of thing. And then I would come home from 3 p.m. And I honestly think that a lot of business happens after hours anyway, like mixers and networking events and, business after hours from chambers and
introverts
tips.
like me who like to edit in the middle of the night.
Oh my
Both
gosh.
sides.
We'll have to get to the story of what you said the first time I shoved a mic in your face. That's a fun story. I know you don't like it. But
We got off track a little bit. I was talking.
No, I'm still trying to
Okay, you
answer the
finish
question.
yours.
So yeah, the first thing that we did is we did a video that was it was a cause video. And then, but the cool thing that we learned is when we work with people who are passionate about something, they're on boards, but they're for-profit people who then work for nonprofit boards. And then suddenly we started doing that. And I met one of my favorite mentors. I have lots, but Susie Boyle, she introduced us to the Boise Philharmonic and Chef and Gourmet and St. Alphonsus Festival of Trees. And then she started getting all of these nonprofits to hire us. And we were cost effective, but yet still able to pay our mortgage and then, kind of continuously grow. And that is one of the things that we did. Go givers, right? The go givers and service mentality and kind of give and you'll receive in abundance. And I feel like that is definitely a tactic. It's a long play because we're still receiving in abundance from things that I served on and did a long time ago. In fact, I even got to meet the author of Go Giver and the Go Giver Sells More, Bob Berg. Anyway, because I served on the NAMPA Chamber Board and we brought him in as a speaker. Anyway, those are the things that help you surround yourself with like-minded, caring, kind, philanthropic people who may have some money and time, right? They always say time, talent, and treasure to give. And it's true. Like we started being around those types of people who we wanted to do business with. There were plenty of people we did not want to do business with, but we did early on. Do you remember that?
We worked with
There's
some characters.
Yes.
But we won't.
Nope, that's a whole nother podcast for another day. But you kind of have to go through kind of like the princess kisses the frog, like to turn into the prince. Same thing with clients. You have to go through kind of all the terrible ones to get to the prince.
Okay.
Charming.
I was trying to figure out where you're going.
Prince Charming.
I didn't kiss any frogs.
Prince Charming clients. Okay, soulmate clients that come to us.
I thought you were talking about me.
Well, yeah.
Prince Charming.
Right. I had to kiss a bunch of frogs to get to Prince Charming. Oh.
Hilarious.
Glad I did.
Well, okay. So hold on. I'm going to back up
Yep, go ahead.
because I got way sidetracked when I started talking about don't go into debt and get a big building and blah, blah, blah. Where I was going with that was to say that it was kind of natural growth. We wanted to just start out as a video production company. And then people would say, well, how do I get it on the air? So then we started buying media. Mm-hmm. And then people would be like, okay, but now I need a new logo or a brochure or whatever. And I'm like, I can half-assedly design you something, but I'm not a graphic designer.
Pull a rabbit out of your ass to make it all happen.
Video. So then we had to hire some design people, and then we just kept growing. And then,
Well, first we hired our part-time assistant, Sarah, who's I'm still friends with her today. Yeah. And she's amazing.
She was our first assistant. We hired my sister, Nikki.
Yep. And your cousin.
We hired
my
people
sister.
for free, family members to.
It's true. My sister, your sister, we weren't supposed to mix business with family, but sometimes you just have to do it.
You learn that too.
By the way, though, people always ask you, like, how did you start? Did you get investors? And we have to give your dad credit because he gave us $2,500 to buy our first camera.
My mom and dad gave us $2,500 to buy a used Canon XL2.
Yes.
Shot on little mini DV tapes.
Yes.
I wish we would have kept that.
I know.
But we had to sell it so that we could upgrade to the next camera and the next camera
and the next camera. And I think we're about to upgrade again because it just is never ending.
Close.
Yeah. I remember though, we were the first in the Valley to have, at the time, it was a 4K camera. Do you remember that?
One of the first, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't know anybody else at the time, and then suddenly people followed. But we've always tried to stay on the kind of the bleeding edge as much as we can.
Yep.
And I remember getting a project because of it. Yeah, because we had the 4K
We were early
quality.
on to YouTube too.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had videos up on YouTube really early on.
And Twitter. Now it's X, but I was like in the first year that Twitter was around. I didn't know what it was, but I did it anyway, and Facebook and all the social media, and that gave us more leverage. And now we're getting into the stage of not only are we doing video production, graphic design, some website design, some traditional media, billboards and magazines and radio and TV, and then in comes new media. That's what they used to call it, new media.
For those of you
this is
aged about 22 who probably listen to a lot of Taylor Swift, that's called social media now.
Mm-hmm. Well, in digital media and digital age and all the things that we get to do now. But
so the moral of that story, and to quote Ron Price, is if you're not innovating, you're dying.
That's right.
Basically, especially in this day and age, you cannot sit back and just say, well, this is the way we've always done it. Sorry.
Another one of my favorite mentors, by the way, Ron Price, has lots of good things. You know what? A favorite thing that I like to tell my students is when giving or receiving feedback, don't deny, defend, or blame. Just say thank you. You can ask clarifying questions, not leading clarifying questions, but true, like genuine clarifying questions. But don't deny, defend, or blame. Just say
thank you.
Thank you, even if you agree or not.
Sometimes I don't agree.
But sometimes feedback is critical.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. To the success of what's going on. And creatives sometimes have such an affiliation and affirmation for their projects that they want to do. I don't know if that's the right word, but they love so much what they've put and produced together. They've lived and breathed it. And then if somebody doesn't necessarily like it, or maybe even they like it, but they question them, it can come across wrong, right? So if creatives are listening to it, I know if creatives are listening right now, it's not that they don't like it. Sometimes they just are questioning or giving questions or asking clarifying questions as to what you meant by that, or why did you mean this, or why did you mean that? And it's hard. It's hard sometimes to accept that as a genuine comment of feedback, because sometimes people just ask questions because they want to know, they want to understand, not because they're criticizing your work. It's because they want to genuinely understand, how did you get to that? How did you come to that conclusion or that idea or that innovative thing that you did? What was it? So that's another thing to consider in this business. You and I have worked with very super left brain people to very right brain people, some people in the middle like I am, but I think understanding how you can work with people and collaborating with every type of person and personality, from clients to crew to community, right?
Yeah.
I think that is navigating the entire system, navigating how to facilitate the creative process. And that's what we're talking about. We're going on this marketing journey. We have to facilitate that. That's what we do every day.
We do.
Every
facilitate the creative process and the marketing process.
Right.
Both.
Well, it comes together. They can join or come together in then telling the story so that people are motivated to buy, to bring awareness, to, if they're motivated to donate or deliver something or do something, like whatever call to action or whatever it is that you're trying to do to come across in that story that you're wanting to tell. And that's what we've learned over 20 years of what's effective and not, and why, and what is going to motivate people and how they're going to get motivated, and how many times they're going to get reminded about whatever it is that you're wanting to motivate them to do.
At least 11 to 13. That's the newest statistic that I've
in a podcast
it's probably higher than
I
that.
just did the other day. A gal, she's amazing. She's done all kinds of amazing brands. She said 17 times now.
17
times. I was like, wow. That's insane.
So I slept once and the number jumped.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
And we talked about it, because if we are getting so inundated by so many messages and ads, and think about it, on Spotify, even if you pay for the non-commercial stuff, you're still getting hit with product placement, people saying something and now college football, just watching the championship game tonight, college football, those kids are getting paid a lot of money. Kids, I say kids. Those kids. Well, we have a kid. He's 18. He's playing football. And those young adult humans who are trying to make decisions. Anyway, they're getting the, image, name, and likeness payments.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars are going into this. And
that's another topic.
Inadvertently getting inundated. So what I can say, though, is that after doing this for 20 years, there are some things that have become tried and true. And that is relationship building. Right? I don't just say networking. That's from right? Everybody can.
That's from the dawn of time. That's not just us in 20 years.
But it's relationship building, not just networking. It's relationship building. And that's how you operate. You're not one to stick a microphone in your face and try to, present on a stage in front of 500 people like I am. You're more inclined to build those relationships and develop that. And I just get the familiar face in front of people and then can build those relationships as we go and grow. And I have, podcasts. I mean, we have 20,000 downloads now of podcast people every month, whatever it is. I have a different way of doing it, but everyone has their way of figuring out how they can navigate and market their business, market their brand, if it's personal brand, nonprofit brand, whatever brand it is. Everyone has to figure out their formula of how you're going to get interested people to stay interested, retain them and capture them and recruit them to continue to be loyal to your brand, right? I'm sure I don't need to throw a bunch of statistics and percentages at you for you to know that most of us spend too much time staring at screens. Being able to consume your content on the go means that your clients and customers can listen and learn from you without being tied to their desks. With Hello Audio, your customers can put their phones down, power off their PCs, close their MacBooks, and get the information they need from you while they're, let's say, walking a dog, doing a jigsaw puzzle, washing the dishes, maybe when they're in the car or exercising on the treadmill, sunbathing in their garden. Well, Hello Audio makes it incredibly easy for you. No more hours spent trying to figure out tech settings or trying to make a square peg fit into a round hole. You can click publish on an audio feed in a matter of minutes and have control over who accesses what. So visit peppershock.com/offers and sign up for a free trial of Hello Audio. I mean, we have clients that we're working with now. What are we doing right now that's working for some of our clients?
You mean tactics that we're taking?
Strategies and tactics and trends and things that we're doing that have evolved. Like we're not doing just traditional media. I mean, we do some billboards and bus benches and those types of things, but outdoor. But then we couple it with digital, talk about some of the things that, like, some pretty cool, exciting things that we're doing, and with OTT and connected TV and Spotify and Pandora, and for those of us that are my age, Pandora, but Spotify-ish. I'm like on the cusp. I'm on the cusp. But talk about what we've been doing lately that's been like wildly successful for us.
Yeah, connected TV coupled with over-the-top videos connected with display banners that follow you around the internet and annoy you.
Yes.
Those work really well.
QR codes and vanity URLs and audio and video all tied together in a whole campaign that do things that we want people to do on purpose. And in some cases for good.
Is that a question?
I want you to explain
Is that a statement?
Some of the good things that we've been doing with all of these tactics and techniques.
So think about it this way. The big screen is still where everybody gathers. The family comes home. The kids come home. Yeah, they're on their iPads and their phones.
Right, they're watching a movie, but they're still on their phones. Like, whatever.
But there's still a huge gathering around the big screen TV. And streaming recently has overtaken linear traditional broadcast TV as far as viewership per month. So more people stream than cable, rabbit ears, any traditional way that you used to watch TV. So running ads there built on delivering to the exact audience that you want to reach, more than just demographics, age, salary, geography, where do they live, all that stuff still plays into it. But there's so many more ways to measure how people shop, what their likes and interests are, their hobbies, what their kids do. I mean, it's big data, lots of big data, and we can really hone in on reaching that exact primary, secondary, tertiary audience member that you want to reach. And then, so they'll see your ad on the connected TV on a streaming show. And then they'll go to watch a video on a news website and see your ad again because it's following
find
you,
me, follow me. Yep.
following you around the internet. And then they'll see it on their mobile device. And then they'll see the display banners that prompt you to click through to the website. And then when they click through to the website, we can track exactly what they do on your website because we placed some code there. So what I'm getting at is we can serve a very catered, very deliberate, very specific set of messages to your audience.
Targeted,
very targeted, and then report back to you on exactly how many people watched the entire video, how many people clicked, how many people clicked on that specific button that we were trying to measure, whether that was a call us now, schedule an appointment, buy our product, whatever that call to action was. It's all super measurable, way more effective marketing than just making your best guess, throwing some traditional ads out there and then hoping that your phone rings or your website starts selling.
And one of our clients recently, I love this story because they're like, well, what did you do? Because our phones are off the hook and we have to get volunteers in here to help us because we can't handle the call volume. Like, what did you do? We love it. We love it.
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly what happened. That's why we talk about it, because and tell everybody that little story because it works. I mean, we have example after example of how this type of campaign really works. I mean, but I am going to say, if you're considering doing it, it's not something that you can just try for a month or two and be like, it didn't work. Yeah, this is a long game. It is definitely something that you need to invest in. You need to give it some time because there is some AI built into it that needs to learn your audience, needs to learn how best to serve the ads. And so it's not something that you can just throw out there for a month or two. And, it does take a little bit of time.
So this is the luxury of working from home. Piper, the Peppershock puppy, sometimes likes to just whine at you until you pick her up and pet her. But anyway, you'll have to see, for those of you listening, you'll have to go check out Piper.
Spoiled.
She's Dachshund and Corgi, and she's orange, just like the Peppershock colors. Anyway, so I think we should probably wrap up here in 5 minutes or so.
Well, okay, fine. What are your in one sentence little tips or things you've learned? 5 of them in the last 20 years.
Oh my gosh, I think the most quoted thing I've ever had in magazines and all the different things is measure what you treasure, dump what you don't, automate what you hate, delegate to elevate. Measure what you treasure, dump what you don't, automate what you hate, delegate to elevate. And those are some things I've been quoted on lots of times. Those are super important. We have scorecards that we track numbers. Thanks to Jennifer, she helped us refine our scorecards. We've had scorecards for years, but we really did some EOS stuff to help entrepreneur operating system. And I've done some other things with EOA, which is Entrepreneurs Organization Accelerator Group, and lots of training, lots of coaches, lots of mentors, lots of people helping us along the way. Because like you said, Drew, we started at a very young age, early 20s, and thought we knew what we were doing. And still continue to think we knew what we were doing. But sometimes, here and there, we had to learn along the way, which, it's debatable because sometimes we could have gone and learned from other people and then got stuck in the ways of what they did and be old and traditional and not open to new things. But on the other hand, I was the social media queen for a long time. I mean, literally that was a title I had. I traveled all over. I even helped write social media policies, which it was ironic because they actually printed out on paper. I'm like, you can do this all digitally, like whatever. Yeah. But I think that if you're thinking about this, or if you are listening to this because you're another agency owner, or you're another marketer, or you're a marketing director in a company that you are like, you're siloed and you have like you're a marketing department of 1 or 2, you can open your ideas, open your mind to other people who've been doing this for a long time. And like, there's benefit to those who have been there and done that. But there's also people who are innovative and edgy just because they had to, like us. Like, I don't think we we didn't do things right, but we figured out and found our way and have been doing it for 20 years now. And it's not because somebody else told us how to do it, or we didn't follow somebody else's path. We followed our own path and we worked on it together. And yes, we got, lots of people like, and that's the other thing I'll say too, my little nugget of wisdom. Sometimes not all advice is good advice. Like, let me say that again. Sometimes not all advice is good advice. But one of the things I did do is I brought together what we call a Peppershock advisory board. And I had a CPA, a lawyer, a financial planner, one of our clients, which was great. Who else did I have on that advisory board? I had a former like Fortune 100 company. What is Simplot? 500? 100? I don't know. Simplot's like a major company. Privately owned company. I don't know. They're like a major company. Simplot is like big. Think about Simplot and McDonald's fries. Anyway, so yeah, the former, not JR Simplot, but a former CEO executive of Simplot was on our advisory board. And he, gave lots of wisdom and advice, and had other, like, I had, I don't know, we had like 12 people on that at one point. And we would meet quarterly and we would give them and process ideas and things that we were doing. And you know what? Now to this day, like, I did that before people started doing that I knew that you would get paid to do that kind of stuff. These people just showed up with no like idea that they were going to get paid to do it, that they were just doing it out of the kindness of their heart because they wanted to see us young kids, get through owning our own business. They wanted to see us succeed, and they helped us through a lot. And still to this day, I'm friends with most all of them. And that was one thing that I cherish and love, because that was something that was super helpful to our business, is having, this sort of advisory board of people we could bring ideas to that would, tell us, what the hell are you thinking? That's so dumb, right? Why would you do that? They wouldn't say that, but, guide us in different directions and give us, people who've been there and done that before. So yeah, maybe we didn't have an agency that we followed and that we didn't work for, or whatever. I mean, you did some interning, whatever, but we had some pretty good people help guide us along the way. And maybe some people that could have, I don't know, weren't necessarily in the right space to do that. Again, just be cautious of who you get your advice from.
That's good advice.
You think?
I'm going to take you up on that advice and not listen to everything you tell me to do.
Well, good luck with that.
No, probably not. I'll just keep doing what
That's why we're yin and yang. For sure.
Well, I asked you to give 5 one-sentence pieces of...
Well, yeah, but that's not how I operate. My brain,
6 or 7 minutes
doesn't operate that way.
Storytelling. It's fine.
Well, storytelling is what I do. I get in trouble for it sometimes. People tell me to, stop, but but this is why the podcast is successful, and the webinars and the speaking and presenting. I get to speak all over the world now because I have stories to tell, and I'm not afraid to tell them. I've never been afraid of getting on a stage and sharing, only because and teaching other people, because I love to share what I know. And if other people can benefit from what I know, I mean, I don't care. I don't have I have no secrets to hide. Like, I'm going to tell you. And if you ask me, I'll tell you what it is. Like, I'll help, because that's who I am.
Well, I have a couple little nuggets and then we'll wrap her up.
Oh yeah. And let's share what you're doing now with Boise State.
I will too.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was going to get there. Okay. So do what you say you're going to do. That's kind of my motto. There was one time that I stood up my best friend. He had asked me to do something to help him move something or whatever. I can't remember what it was.
Jason.
And at the last minute, I bailed on him. I don't remember if I was hungover or just tired or didn't feel like doing it. I don't remember. But he called me, and that's what he was mad.
Do what
he
you say you're going to do.
Do what you say you're going to do. And I was like, oh my God, yes, I feel like an ass now. I'm sorry. And I've never forgotten that. So that's one piece of advice.
Get to listen to that too.
The other piece of advice tied to what Ray was just talking about, I got a wild hair last year and decided I wanted to get my MBA. And so I enrolled in the executive MBA at Boise State, and I'm about to graduate in May.
May the 4th be with you.
May 4th. I'm going to show up in a Jedi robe and a lightsaber.
Oh, that'd be cool. You have one.
I do.
Or two.
Anyways, that's not part of this story. One of the biggest things I think I've learned a ton in that program. And I think one of the best things I've learned is that even if you don't understand, there are two forms. There's accounting and there's accounting and there's finance.
Yep.
Accounting is accounting for what happened in the past. And as a small business owner, any business owner, you need to understand the books. You have to understand how your business is running, how to make decisions. I luckily relied on bookkeepers and Ray all my life for 20 years. But
creative people, bookkeeping and numbers are
right. I want to do
painful.
Equipment, and I was like, we got a credit card. There's still a limit on it available, so go buy it. No, that is not a good way to run your business. So anyways, that's a piece of advice to any business owner. Make sure you understand the accounting. And then on the other side of things, the finance is more, hey, can we run some numbers and do some projections? Let's look into the future and see if we're going to buy this piece of equipment, how much is it going to cost? What's the interest rate? How are we going to depreciate
ROI on that?
Yes. What's the terminal value? What's the net present value? Blah, 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 blah. Thank you, Steve Byers.
Yeah.
For teaching us finance.
There you go.
I don't understand it half the time. He's speaking in another language during those classes, but I have a general, I will never be the one to calculate that stuff. But if somebody came to me, or if I went to the finance department and said, I need to understand when are we going to get an ROI, I'd be able to understand the calculations.
At least now you know. Yes.
So anyways, that's a piece of advice.
For 20 years, I've been
just
doing
run your
all this.
business on a whim. Actually know the numbers.
Agreed. No, that's good.
I don't have 5 pieces. That's probably it.
No, but
do what you
I
say
will
you're going to do and know the numbers.
I want to give a couple plugs. Can I do that?
Yeah.
One, Boise State just recently did this really cool thing, and I felt so special for like weeks on end, and I'm still like getting like things from it, from being a distinguished alumni.
A what?
A distinguished alumni. A distinguished alumni.
A distinguished alumni. I got you.
Yeah, you're better with words. A distinguished alumni, and that was a word, yes. And I got to. They had a whole gala, and they did a video, which was kind of fun. Usually, I'm the one interviewing people, not the other way around, which was interesting. Well, you were in Vietnam at the whole time when that all was going on.
Vietnam as part of the executive MBA program.
So
that'll be a different podcast.
That was fun. Yeah, we should follow up on that. And then the other thing I wanted to do is give credit where credit is due to the people who have helped us along with Peppershock. And we have employees who've worked with us. Brian, who has been with us, and we knew him working at Channel 12 together.
Yeah. And
then he went off and did cruises and did video production for cruises. And then he came back and worked with us at Peppershock. Well, he did some other things and then came back. And he is celebrating 8 years soon, February 1st, by the way.
Wow.
So he'll be with us for 8 years. I'm so excited for him. He's going to go take a 3-week trip to go to the Philippines and have some fun. And then we have Terry, who our bookkeeper, she's been with us for going on 6 years. She's going to retire in May. So put it out in the universe. We're going to be, having to find a new bookkeeper. But anyway, she's been with us. And then we've got some other wonderful staff. We've got some new hires. And of course, our son is working for the janitor. And our son is the janitor. And then
what's the fun term for it? I don't remember.
Oh, I don't know. The cleanup crew. I guess he's the cleanup crew. he's supposed to take down Christmas decoration a couple weeks later. Anyway, and then we have Michaela, who was one of my students and was a star student, and I had to hire her when she was texting me asking for if I knew anybody that was hiring. I said, you, yes, me, you.
We literally had just talked about her
the day before,
right before
at our same
texted.
page meeting.
Yep.
The day before. And so then I got her up, and then our new graphic designer,
Christy.
Yeah. So we've got a great crew, and then we've got some people who've been with us for a long time, Brian and Casey and Heather and other people that we get to work with all the time and have been doing this for 20 years.
Definitely takes the whole crew.
Yeah. Our longest term client, Price Associates. They were with us since, well, of course he had a different name before that, but talk about one of my favorite mentors too. And I don't know, we've had some amazing clients. Adams Gardens has been with us since the beginning.
The dude abides.
That's
Thanks,
right.
Neil.
That's
and
right.
Jamie.
Anyway, we've got some great long-term crew and clients and community, of course. Been on the Shakespeare Festival board, advisory board, gala committee for I don't know how many years, I can't even count. And then, of course, Boise Chamber and helped start Boise Young Professionals. Anyway, lots of things, lots of involvement. By Idaho, I've been a part of the board for that. I just got off the board. So just, lots of different things to be involved in. And I love it. I love it all.
I have a Snake River Stampede board meeting tomorrow.
Very good. And Drew's now taking on some more board, which you've been the Ducks Unlimited.
Snake River Stampede. Yep.
Watch them fly, ride them high, the snake. Other way
around. It's all good.
Anyway,
we gotta wrap her up.
Yeah, we do. Okay. Well, yeah, and you've been the Ducks Unlimited state PR chair for a really long
12 or 13 years, something like that.
So I guess the moral of the story is to give back, and you'll get back in abundance, and it'll come back to you in return, and you'll get to work with some like-minded, amazing people. We've had some amazing clients and crew work with us over the years, and I guess
parents and grandparents who have babysat when we needed, and
definitely is a village. People always ask me, why did you live in Nampa instead of Boise? Well, my mother-in-law lives not even 2 miles away from us. And that has been very helpful. And the boys have gone to school, and Emerson, of course, playing football and arts and all the stuff. Idaho Arts Charter for both kids. And then Emerson went to high school to play football, and now he's got a partial scholarship playing football at Southern Utah University. And then Caden's on track to Eagle Scout here pretty soon, and choir. And he was the
cross country.
He helped start the cross country team at Idaho Arts Charter. They never had one, and so he was the captain of the cross country team as a sophomore, running varsity, which is pretty cool. And he got up. He was good. He was really good. I can't wait to see what he does now. All right. I'm getting the wrap up signal. Here we go. Okay, quick. How can people get a hold of us? What can we do? It's usually what I ask podcast guests, like, plug your shtick. So go ahead. I'll let you do it.
Well, I'm Rhea Allen. I work at Peppershock Media. You can find me at peppershock.com.
Yes.
You can call the office at 208-461-5070. This is my radio voice.
Very nice. And we have the Marketing Expedition community. Talk a little bit about that.
The Marketing Expedition community is a place where you can sign up to be a member and learn all the things that Ray shares through podcasts and webinars and blog posts and trainings of all kinds. And if you are a marketer or want to learn how to be a marketer, it's a place you can connect with other people and learn. And she shares practically everything, all the knowledge that ever existed in the entire world.
No, I get to interview people
marketing.
Who can share about things too, right? I learn just as much as our audience learns when I get to ask people who are very specific in our industry. I love it. It's how I stay on top of everything too.
TheMarketingExpedition.com.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks, Drew, for spending your evening with me, doing our 200th episode, by the way.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
Oh, kind of a little bit. But...
200 episods?
Do you recognize it's been like 200 hours on my part, and then Brian editing, and then
200,000 hours editing.
Our team, hey, Brian. Well, after today, we're definitely gonna have to edit. But it's been a journey. I love doing this. I love to get to interview people and talk to people all over the world. Like, I get to talk to people from all over, experts in the industry. I'm getting top 1% people now. And like, yeah, our podcast is ranked top 5%, but I feel like that is a good goal for us because we're getting, like I said, like 20 some odd thousand downloads. It's amazing. Like, I had no idea that my voice and my ability to interview people could actually be something that people would enjoy listening to. So I want to say thank you to our audience. After 200 episodes, thank you for listening, for sharing, for giving us reviews, by the way. It's super, super, like, I just love it. People ask me all the time, like, why do you teach? Why do you do all this stuff? If other people can learn from what I do to benefit them and leverage and take away some key things that they can implement or put into their business and help them build their brand and their bottom line, then I'm doing justice to the world.
You said you love talking to all these other people. What about me?
I talk to you every day, honey.
Don't you love talking to me right
talking.
here in our home office?
Yeah, Piper's sleeping now. She's not barking. Of course I do.
Alrighty, what's your closing line, Ray?
Okay, so as I say, for those of you listening, the best thing that you can do for Drew and I both is to give us a review on the Marketing Expedition podcast on any platform that you are on. And until next time, everybody, enjoy your marketing journey.
I mean, the marketing journey.
Enjoy your marketing journey.
Oh, there was that part.
Enjoy your marketing journey.
That's right.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Expedition podcast. Want to continue the journey? Don't miss out on new episodes. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. Wouldn't it be great if there was one place you can go to get all the latest information and tips about marketing and advertising? The Marketing Expedition community is that place. People like you gather in our online community to build relationships with others and find the latest marketing trends, tactics, tools, and technology. We help you build your brand and your bottom line. Start your adventure today. Visit themarketingexpedition.com to find out more.